What's up, interweb? We are back for the second time this week. It's Xbox Has No Games podcast. We have no episode. We we don't know what episode we on. We probably on episode negative 17 million. But my man Livewire is in the building. What's good with you, man?
I don't know much, man. I'm still dealing with the fact that my team lost today. He's just the Nets was beat the fuck up. They couldn't. Man, it's just like every time we thought we had a chance, another motherfucker would go down. It's like, God damn, is this whole team injured? What the fuck? But yeah, man, it was a good
We
game
got a
though.
spot. We got a spot over here in Cancun for you.
Yeah, I know. Durant going to go over there and visit LeBron, talk some shit. We gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch a new champion because it's the Clippers, the
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 Suns, but what's called not
Suns.
playing.
Who? No, he
Kawhi ain't
only playing
playing.
not playing the first game. You got Milwaukee, who they haven't had a championship since Kareem got one.
No.
You got Philly, who hasn't had one since Dr. J, and you got the Hawks. They ain't never had no championship. So, but the Hawks, I doubt they win anything. They kind of, I'll be surprised. They bit young, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the Clippers got the best chance. I'm gonna be honest. Paul George surprised me by beating the Jazz. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's out there. Then we got I forgot which call got second man got something for you, Flip. I
I'm
forgot what
sending
he say.
something to you, Punisher. So
Yeah, he got
I'm done, but
yeah, he got a little something for Flip. But what's up with your money?
ain't nothing much, chilling. Here you go, Punisher. I sent you a link. I know that you was in the
Yeah,
chat, but ain't nothing much, man. You know how it is. Goddamn,
not is, man.
nacho cheese Doritos and some
You
Powerade.
still
Looking
sucking up
at
all the glory?
I don't know nothing about that, but looking at the TV.
Mhm. Yeah, man. But so man, what's on y'all mind? I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Go ahead, Lava. Take it on.
Like, what in here? I'm saying, what can we go? What we go talk about? Uh, let's think about. I want to do something. Cat ain't caught my tongue, but I don't want to go. I just don't want to hit these dudes over the head right now. But what? Fuck it. Let's go. Why you guys over here want Starfield so damn bad and you're lying? You're lying just like your president lying, Jim Ryan. We don't ask for none of y'all games.
Now this
If we
nigga,
want to play
why you supposed to say something? Now you gonna talk?
it, he got to go get he got to get the munchies. But lying Jim Ryan ass over there. We don't go at y'all for your games. We ain't making death threats that I know of. People that I know of, we ain't making no damn death threats about nobody. We're not e-begging. We're not making petition.orgs. We kind of must stay in our lane. You know, uh, you guys want to say y'all won E3? That is some of the most asinine comment. I just learned that word from Flip this afternoon. Asinine comment that I ever heard in my life. How you gonna be in E3 and show up? That just like my Lakers won the championship and need to make the playoffs. It can't happen. It just can't happen. And you guys sit there and then I see some Xbox dudes sitting there taking it. No, no. We don't supposed to take it. We supposed to stand up with each other and say, well, yeah, we won E3. At least Nintendo had a fighting chance showing Breath of the Wild. I was impressed with Nintendo. I actually watched that Nintendo Direct. instead of watching highlights. You know, you can even it's crazy. It was the winner. Microsoft had every damn near genre but a fighting game. That's all they didn't have. Like Flip said, their lineup is crazy. They got games scheduled to come out in 2024. We don't know God of War. I told you guys God of War wasn't walking through that door. Ratchet and Clank, nobody talking about it. Returnal, nobody talking about it. They talking about that Halo. They talking about that Forza. They talking about third-party games. They talking about Game Pass. Nobody's talking about PlayStation now. But y'all want to act like them clowns over there. See, a lot of podcasters are gonna want to say this somewhere. We got to be neutral. We got to be nice to each other. We got to have positive energy. I ain't a positive motherfucker when I get on here. Ain't nothing positive I got for Sony, but you know what I'm saying, that I can make a grilled cheese sandwich on that bad boy.
I'm positive. I'm positive. I'm positivity that they did not win E3 when they ain't have nothing to show. Who to whom are we saying that said this? Who said that they won E3? I need to know where they
The
get this
pony.
from.
That's what I saw. This app. Well, I went to sleep and got up and went to sleep. They going out and said they won E3 because they didn't have to show up because of was that PlayStation? What's that bullshit that we having?
State of play.
Yeah, state of play. Because they got state of play.
What's
Going to
up,
come out with
Chuck?
another state of play. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come out with another state of play that's going to kill the Xbox E3 conference. Why you didn't show your ass up? Everybody else mostly did.
Let me ask you this: when did they show a state of play? What was that at?
That was
That
a
was
couple. That was
for
like a couple of months ago.
Horizon Zero Dawn. No, Ratchet and Clank was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I think it was either Ratchet and Clank or Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it was Ratchet and Clank though.
so all right. Now, when you say the ponies are saying that, are you saying the regular trolls and fans that be in the comment section that be on Twitter, or are you talking about the pony, far as in IGN and all of them?
We talking about everybody. We talking about PlayStation Pros life that don't have no life because I don't have no wife. You got VG24. It's like they need them clicks and they know the truth. Why you just can't give somebody credit?
Yeah,
When
you know what?
I'm really trying to figure out exactly when did they say that, because I don't drink or smoke or anything, but I feel as though that I was Bill Cosby, because I'm lost. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how was that possible.
Because they don't think, they don't like we say, Flip, they don't think logically. They're a bunch of followers. They're a bunch of followers. That's all they do. If they tell them to jump, they say how high. They say you don't need
I
EA
don't know
Play.
what
They don't need it.
I don't know what they're doing with Banjo, Havoc. Maybe they probably looking for the right studio to do something with that shit.
What Banjo
But
is Xbox. Banjo is
no, I'm
Rare.
saying he was asking what they doing with it.
Oh, but
And they said,
Banjo.
yeah, but they
Oh, you
just
looking at the
probably ain't
comment
got. They got to
section?
find some. They got to find. Yeah, they got to find the right studio in order to.
Rare can do
You know,
Banjo again. They want to.
yeah, but even if, like, say if they wanted to, like, there's people on the team that want to do it, you got to build a team to do it. You know what I mean? So it ain't like a easy, like, oh, you just stop what you're doing and build a Banjo. No, that's not how they do it. Because a lot of
Chuck
that
said
stuff
send,
is
Chuck
you.
said send that
Oh,
link.
I did.
yeah, because like there's gonna be growing pains with the start of like a lot of the shit that we're getting now. Like you gotta realize like a lot we're still getting the first generation of Game Pass games. We haven't really gotten all of them yet. You know what I mean, like I don't really consider Halo and Gears and getting Forzas as first generations of Game
Reaper
Pass
was
games. I would
good. We
consider
needed to see one of the Reaper, man. Get Reaper.
the new ones coming out.
Crazy motherfucker.
Be getting his Reaper crazy
But
ass
but
motherfucker.
not. But the truth is the ponies are upset on some real factual shit, talking about
Oh,
E3 was trash and all that shit.
but no,
Well,
no. I
guess what? I
understand
would
that though,
say
Live.
going to a
No. What I'm saying is I understand that though, Live. But what I'm trying to understand is I'm trying to wrap my head around of how they won E3. I don't understand that. I'm sorry if I may sound dumbfounded,
I don't
and
know
I
about
am.
winning anything. They ain't win
I don't.
nothing.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Why they saying that? I don't.
What's going on, everybody?
What
I
up
don't
with the
know.
rain?
What's up,
I
Ray?
don't know how they said they won anything. To be honest,
Who won E3? They
Trying to
talking
figure.
about what they talking about?
that shit.
Talking about this. The
Tony
ponies are
saying that they
saying
won
ponies.
Man,
E3.
Ponies
Xbox
they
the only one that
won.
won E3. That's it.
I don't understand that.
But they saying Jeff Keighley's shoes won. What they say?
Like some shit like that. I don't see how they won E3 when they didn't have anything to show. Like I don't get that. Like
I don't know. I guess they paid off somebody.
who the hell they? Okay,
What up with you,
I'm
Chuck?
gonna let y'all go here talk. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm
Whoa,
still
what's good with
pondering.
y'all? Can hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we can
sound like
hear
you
you.
in the basement. You still on the roof?
Huh? Y'all can hear me?
Still on top of that roof.
You know,
Yeah, we can hear you, Chuck. You on that roof, man. That's why you don't hear us.
shit, yeah.
Nintendo ain't
Hey,
won no damn E3.
hey, but don't got no games. But E3, hey, E3, man, E3 made me do it. I had to go get me a new Series X, man. I had to go set my game up too.
Which one you
Every game
got?
I
You got
seen
the
was
S
on
or the
Game
X?
Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. I got the S. They ain't had the X. They only had four S's. And this was the one I was in there.
Congratulations, welcome. Welcome to Godhood once again. Welcome.
Yeah, shit, yeah. I've done that. Been trying to go to the little thing. We add a bunch of people on there, and
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a lot of details in the graphics and stuff too. So that I've been seeing a lot of great stuff on there, and all the game name XS is just a regular, just for you know how they remember the Xbox One S and the One XD. They just took things and it just looked better without even having to do it.
Right.
Nintendo with their cartoony games
Yeah.
again.
I like the Metroid. I ain't gonna. Metroid
I
remind me
mean,
of what you call it. What was it remind me of? I
Mega
used to like
Man.
that damn game made by Epic.
So,
Uh,
side scroll game.
yeah.
How,
Uh,
how you go back to side scroll? Please tell me.
well,
How you go back?
they said their work. That's not Metroid Prime. Shout out to
I
my man
know.
PK. PK
I
was
know.
explaining to me that Dread is supposed to be the last of that type of a Metroid.
That's Metro
Okay.
in its prime, I guess.
Yeah. So Dread's supposed to be something different. But I even like the Wind Waker. Yeah, Shadow Complex. It looked like Shadow Complex with the
But
little
check this out.
3D. And I love Shadow
When
Complex.
is Nintendo gonna make a new IP? Tell me that.
They don't have to because they got lawyers now.
Never. They never
They're
doing
gonna go
that.
get a third party to make they're gonna make a third party to make it.
Yep. Nintendo didn't want E3 either. What did Nintendo show that was groundbreaking? Please tell me. I will wait.
Nothing.
You know. I ain't see nothing groundbreaking, but I know Nintendo type of fans. I know what they like. They liked it because
Right.
old boy from Tekken and Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers
Okay.
generated a
Well.
lot of money for them.
Okay. Well. I mean. Well. Since we're gonna do it like that. Okay. Since you think Nintendo won E3 because you probably a Nintendo fan, and you saying that well Xbox won E3 because we're Xbox fans. By your logic. It's either
Probably is.
Nintendo or Sony.
Havoc is it's a hardcore Nintendo dude.
Yeah, I mean, if
So,
you're a Nintendo dude, your opinion don't count. I'm dead set. It does.
Nintendo lost me with the Wii came out. After the GameCube, I stopped dealing with Nintendo.
I ain't gonna lie, I still had a GameCube. You're right. After the GameCube, I had a
GameCube turned me
Wii.
off because I didn't like the controller.
I ain't even keep the Wii. I ain't
Yeah.
even keep that shit.
My boy had one. I hated playing Madden on there. And I'm like, you ain't gonna keep on taking 20 of my dollars because this controller, I can't think. Because you got muscle memory with a PlayStation or a Xbox controller. Or at
Plus,
that time, it was a Dreamcast.
Nintendo make you rebuy the same game over and over, and I can't get down with that.
Nintendo don't put no
Yeah,
Nintendo don't
facts.
their games is always gonna be $60 unless it got to be 10 years old.
I'm talking
Yeah, they
about
be
like
on that
if I
bullshit.
buy the game and I buy the new system, my game should carry over. I shouldn't have to buy the game again.
But that's what they fan base don't mind to do. That's on their fan base. If they don't do it with their pockets, what they gonna do?
Well, that's no different than what Sony
Yeah,
fan base does.
The last of it's the director's
yeah.
cut. Ain't none of y'all no motherfuckers. What that Snyder? The last of us to
Last
the
of Us.
direct. You showed me already everything. What else you gonna show me? Somebody getting bent over again?
No, you said Last of Us. You talking about the that
Last of
other
us getting
shit?
a director's
Death
cut. Last
Strand.
of us 2 is getting a director's cut.
Last of Us 2. I
Yeah,
thought
it's
it was
getting a
Death
director's
Stranding.
cut.
So it's
Yep.
Death Stranding and Last of Us getting director's
Is it
cut.
Death Stranding? Yeah, you're right. It's Death Stranding. You're right. You're right. My bad.
Oh,
You're
okay.
right. Death Stranding.
I'm about to say last. I said,
My
damn, they
bad. I
didn't do a director's cut for that
apologize to
shit.
everybody.
See,
So my man
one of the
Bless One
reasons why
said, my man Bless One shout out for the $5. So the Sony ponies have to stop sucking
Stu,
Nintendo's dick in spite of
That is
Xbox.
also true. That is also true. Listen here. You don't listen here. You don't need. I don't want nobody to be sitting there sucking Xbox dick. All I'm saying is this: give credit where credit is due. Microsoft been winning E3 for the last 3 to 4 years. Let's stop acting like they haven't.
so
They've been
so
showing you IP after IP. Stop it.
so you saying they getting on their knees for Joy Cons?
So shit. Yeah, possibly.
Like you don't have to
And
you don't have to
people.
They
you
might
don't have
let
to suck Microsoft dick. Just admit it.
You know
on
what?
Nintendo, they'll make some knee pads to go to play the game.
You know, it's about they basically this is what they asked for. This is what they say they asked for. They want Xbox to show games and blah blah blah. So Xbox did all that, and now they upset because now they over here talking about you know how E3 is whack because basically they went to a fancy restaurant and they ain't got no plate in front of them. They watching everybody around them eat, and they got an empty ass plate. And they were talking about, well, we got Ratchet and Clank.
Right.
Oh, that means that they came from the back and microwaved your food and threw it on your plate. That's what it sounds like to me when you talking about E3. When you get new games, you talking about a game that's old. What the fuck? And that's they shit. They talk about they don't care about old games. Well, Ratchet and Clank is an old fucking game. That shit came out. What the fuck? That shit came out like a month ago. However long ago it
Mm-hmm.
came out. That shit old.
It's old enough.
It's on to the
How you
next.
think Ratchet and Clank got Fight Night?
Got what?
Wait, say it again.
Chuck, move your phone near the
Wait, what
antenna
you
on the
say?
roof.
Y'all give me?
Yeah. What you say?
I get you
Yeah.
now.
I'm saying
Wait, what?
Plug in Rabbit is
Did you just cut out?
hold on, what?
I think.
All right. No, it's not like you just talking and then you just stop talking. Hello.
And Chuck is gone.
No, flip that
Hey,
shit,
I'm gonna
dog.
try to can't ship it. Then fix it.
No, that's not me. That's
Who the fuck is
Brain.
that? Oh,
That's Brain.
I thought
Brain
it
over
was
here.
Chuck Dog. I was like, how the hell we don't hear Chuck? We can hear
No,
his
that probably
dog.
was
What the
Chuck.
fuck is going
That probably was Chuck. That might have been Chuck. I don't know.
on? I, I don't know. I
That
can
has
hear
been
his
that
dog
definitely
loud
been
and
Chuck.
clear. That dog was coming in crystal clear. Nah,
No,
that
that's
ain't Chuck.
Brain. That's Brain. That's Brain. That has been
I'm
fucked
about to
up.
say,
Like
yeah, I was
Chuck,
just
your
saying that
dog
like
trying to talk and not you. I don't
this,
understand it. What is going on here?
this nigga Chuck was been fucking with us. Like, yo, and I'm about to say, we'll be like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Chuck dog talking this shit. What the fuck? No, but
Nah, but yeah, go
go ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, it was just, look, man, they salty. That's all it is. They a little salty. They ain't got nothing. Oh, shit. I mean, the next thing they got to look forward to is possibly Horizon Zero Dawn, but they don't know if that's coming at the end of the year or is coming next year. That's really it. That's it for them. They done.
She
Well, let
gonna
me
hit
ask
the
you
Nothing
this.
else.
gym before she come out though.
Let me ask you this.
Um,
What's the chances of it coming out next year or this year, the end of this year? What's the chances of they saying fuck it, let's just push it back, push it back?
it's
That's a
hard to
very high
say.
chance, right? You don't think
Yeah,
there's a
it's
high
hard.
chance that they may push it back?
I mean, yeah, because they typically do that. So it wouldn't surprise me if they push it back to like February. That wouldn't surprise. I
But
don't think it would surprise anybody.
I do believe Sony gonna at least try to bring out some type of game this year because Microsoft they don't lit it up this year, so they're gonna have to bring out something.
Well, I mean, if it ain't done, it ain't done. I mean, I don't know what they would give you. The fuck do they have? Uh, I don't know. Maybe they try to hit you with another Spider-Man DLC. Maybe this time instead of Miles Morales, it'll be Spider Gwen. I don't know. I'm just saying. Something I can spit them shits out their ass like it ain't nothing. They be like, "What? You need an 8-hour Spider-Man? Shit, we got you, my nigga. Let's go." They be like, "You thought playing as Miles Morales was fun. Now you gonna play as Spider Gwen, and then the next year you go play as Spider Woman, and then after that you play with as the cat that jumps out his book bag. Yeah, Spider Man for everyone. Let's go." There's gonna be motherfuckers that eat that shit up, so they be happy with that. Yeah,
Yo,
they
Heavy,
got
that 10-cent game, that's multi-plat.
who?
Simazaki Timze. That's just a multi-plat.
Oh, okay.
Not exclusive.
Yeah, they do have. Did the Virtual Fighter 5 come out yet for PlayStation? When's that come out? I know they got the Virtual Fighter 5 remake. Did that come out yet?
Not that I think so. They're supposed to have a virtual fighter.
Yeah, it's supposed to have like a exclusive virtual. I don't know if it's timed or whatever, but some kind of exclusivity with Virtual Fighter 5.
I thought the last one was Street Fighter, wasn't it?
No, yeah,
Street
but
Fighter
virtual.
5 or something.
Yeah, but I also saw that they have like a Virtual Fighter exclusivity. It's like a remake of Virtual Fighter 5. I mean, for those that I don't know. The funny thing about Virtual Fighter is that shit was dope back in the day, but its mechanics aren't. I don't know.
I know what
Mechanics
you're talking
It's
outdated.
about. Now, I
Yeah,
know
it's
what you're
kind of
talking about
dated.
now.
it's kind
Yeah,
of
it hasn't
floaty. You
came
know what I
out yet.
mean?
I think they had a
It's like
beta.
floaty. It's like floaty combat
Hmm.
versus like Tekken's way more grounded. Um, but I don't know. I mean,
Virtual
you
Fire was
know,
more technical.
yeah. But I'm saying
That
the
means
You need
virtual
you
better
needed to know.
controls though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they have that. I think Max was playing it. I think a beta version or something the other day. But
Yeah.
it's a remastered thing about it. No, did it come out? Because
No,
matter of
I
fact,
don't think it came out yet.
It's Virtual Fighter 5, but we can play it on backwards compatibility. It's Showdown.
Hmm.
This is just a remaster. It's just a remake.
It's
They
a
added, I think,
yes, yeah, it's a remake.
yeah. But yeah, we can play the same game, but I think they added a couple of more characters or something like that. But it's really Virtual
Yeah, I don't
Fighter
think they're
Showdown.
taking like they're changing. I don't think they're changing it around or nothing. It's just a remake.
Yeah, it's like a
I
reskin.
mean, yes, they. Yeah, it's like what's like Demon Souls. It's like the game they just got on PlayStation, something like that. Like it's the same, basically the same game. They just beautified that bitch.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah. Other than that, I don't really know. They ain't got no racing games coming out.
no.
Did you
Uh,
read my man question?
they did get Guilty Gear. Nah, I didn't see it.
Guilty Gear is out
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, he's asking why
Yeah,
people
Guilty Gear.
he asked why do people be paying for PlayStation Network when they don't have no multiplayer games? That's a good question.
I mean, they play for
For
the.
Well,
Call of
they
Duty.
play Call of
It's
Duty.
more. Yeah, it's Call of Duty. It's just people paying for Call of Duty.
No, no,
Well,
they don't have, but they don't have no like their own multiplayer game. They don't.
well,
He do
don't
have
Well,
a
they
nobody
don't.
pay. Don't know.
because
Well, they
Yeah,
just
but
came
people
out with
don't.
one with Ghost
he
of
do have a
Tsushima.
point because the whole point of having playing games online was to have the multiplayer. That's the only reason why you really have online play is and
Yeah,
it's multiplayer.
yeah, but to be honest, PlayStation multiplayer games is trash. I mean, they have a few standouts here and there that they're decent enough, like GT Online
So what
and
you saying? You didn't like
Uncharted
Mad?
and shit like that. And that's no, ain't nobody like that shit. That's why
Shoot,
that shit
nobody
died.
played that shit. That game was
That
live
shit,
for like 5 minutes,
that shit
and
went
they
the
shut
way
that
of
shit
the
down.
dodo. The way of the dodo. That shit is gone.
I heard Mad
Bad.
They
keep
didn't
coming
play
out.
that. They didn't play that Killzone. They didn't play none of that shit.
Well,
No, no.
Yeah, Mag was the worst. I don't know what they were thinking
Nah,
about.
you know what Killzone is? Killzone. Damn. Shit. You know what Killzone reminds me of? Killzone is like one of those fruity cereals, that discount shit you see in the store where the package look real good.
Or
Hmm.
that off-brand
It'd be
sweet cereal.
like bootleg Fruit Loops and shit. That shit ain't nothing but corn syrup. You know what I mean? But it ain't got no real nutritional value. So
See,
you eat that shit,
see,
you just be shitting on
Sony like
yourself.
Killzone actually could have been good if they had a if they create a good protagonist for the series, and it actually could be pretty good, but they don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you who
Well,
the well,
that's
it's
expensive.
twofold. It's the antagonist and the protagonist because they ain't got a worthy bad guy in that shit. Ain't no, I don't even think anybody other than those motherfuckers in the mask. You be like, who them bad guys in the mask? Those masked
Well,
bad
see,
guys.
where
I think
they
they call them the
where they
Hellgas
messed
or
up
something
at,
like that.
Yeah, hell,
I don't know, but I know they
yeah,
messed up
shit.
by one thing. By see the big boss guy that you was fighting, you ain't have no interaction with them. Only when it got to that scene, you fought them or whatever. They should have been characters that should have been more developed and more interactive with the game. They should have been
Right,
part of the game main story plot because the guy that you
right,
fought, even when at the end, it didn't make. It was like, okay, I'm playing this game for nothing. It's like what it was like. It was like playing a 3D game, a 3D virtual world game that you've been playing back in the day. Remember them games back in the day on the
right.
Nintendo where you fighting and you go fight to fight the big boss and stuff.
I know
Even
what
those games
Killzone
had
remind
a
me
better
of.
story plot than
I know
Killzone.
what Killzone remind me of. It remind me of Sewer Shark on the Sega CD.
Oh shit.
You know how like you just go through the levels, but it ain't no real like you don't really get immersed into the game. You just going through the levels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of a lot of games in the '80s was like that. You're just fighting a bunch of bad guys. Just fighting, but unlike the
But
'80s, at least they had storyline. I don't know
see,
what killed. It's
if
just
they
like
get
the
if they
distant
give
fallen man.
Killzone like Live said, they give it an antagonist and protagonist and have a good storyline to it. The game would be actually a great game because they got the visuals and the gun mechanics and the shooting is on point.
I don't know what happened to everybody. No, to me, they're trying to be like they were trying to be too much like a Halo or Call of Duty.
Yeah, but we all know Killzone originally supposed to be what they
It's
call
supposed
the
to be
Halo killer, so to speak.
that. What and was that? What was that other one? Resistance.
Yeah,
Well,
That went down the
yeah.
drain.
that Resistance Fallen Man and Killzone was the same goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Resistance
there's
was
another game
literally
called
the
Haze
fallen
too.
man.
The
That
Haze
really
was
made man
trash.
Hey, it was
fall
supposed to
man.
have been the ultimate Halo killer. I remember people going around, "Oh, this gonna kill Halo."
See, I
Yeah, I
remember
remember
when
that too.
Resistance came out, and a lot of PlayStation fans was pissed because the game did not look like Gears. Remember when Gears came out, the Gears was flawless. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was no game that could match the visuals of Gears. Then Resistance
But
come out
why?
look like a PS2 game.
But why did they think that it was gonna look like? I don't understand why they thought that.
Because you understand, remember the 360 came out a year ahead. And all the things the 360 was doing as far as the graphics, it was knocking it out the park. Then the PS3 came behind it, and they didn't hold up to the 360 as far as visuals. It was like, what the hell is this?
Cell process.
Cell processor.
It sell itself good enough.
And Sony kept on. Sony told us a lie with the PS3. They told
Oh
us
yeah,
that the
big
Blu-ray
time.
technology was supposed to help the game as far as like you didn't have to have a whole bunch of discs. You just put everything on one disc. But what did that help? It didn't improve the graphics and the visuals because the 360 versions of the games looked it way better.
No. So, if y'all was Bethesda, would y'all would apologize or quote
Hell
unquote you
no.
supposed to apologize?
Hell no.
Nah,
Nope, I wouldn't
nah.
have said nothing.
But
If I was old boy,
I
I would
mean,
have pointed him right to the store. Like, hey, you want to play these games? You either play them
I
on
would have
PC or you buy an Xbox.
I would have
Period.
gave them a gift card and a box of fruit roll-ups.
Nah, that's too much. Don't
I
get
wouldn't.
their
I
ass
was like, yeah,
shit.
I wouldn't said a damn thing. I would just
Because
laughed at them.
my issue with it was how it's the way he said at the end. He was like, um, it's out of my hands. He said something like, it was almost like he was trying to say that we want the game to be multi-plat, but since we were bought by Microsoft, we can't do it. And he should have just shut the hell up. He shouldn't have said that. He should have if
yeah,
he should have just said, if you want to play these games, you have to get an Xbox or a PC or get Game Pass. That's all he had to do. But he was talking like he was hurt the fact that PlayStation fans couldn't play the game. And I'm like, you don't do that with a company who just bought you for $7 billion, and then you apologize to the competition. Talk, oh, we are sorry. It's out of my hands. There's nothing I can do. Hell no. If I would feel, man, I would have called him in the room and locked the door. Let me talk to you for a minute.
Hit him with the Suge Knight, that death row.
Yeah,
No, but he
yeah,
probably felt like he was defending himself too, because they was probably attacking him.
we done
Bro, I
spent
already
You know how
got
the
it
seven.
put in
Listen,
the
PlayStation
y'all.
question. I
fanboys
didn't listen
are.
to what he said.
When
Microsoft
I
they
already
spent
got
attack,
pushed into
you
seven
know,
him.
billion.
they be
Microsoft
they be
spent
talking all
seven
kind of
billion.
bullshit.
Ain't nowhere in here gonna spend $7 billion on the company. You gonna come around and try to apologize to the competition because the games ain't gonna be on their shit. Hell
I think
no.
what made it bad. I mean, he came out and said he wasn't apologizing. He was just saying like, "Yo, it's not out of my." Number one, he shouldn't have said nothing. I agree. He shouldn't have said anything. What he should have said was not pay attention. They should just left it alone. If they butt hurt, oh well. Do you still want to have this job? You think Sony going to pay you what Microsoft pay you?
Right. And here's the thing too. Here's how it's going to play out when Starfield drops and it do the numbers, whatever numbers that it does. If Starfield don't hit a certain amount of sales, they're gonna say, "See, if this game was on PlayStation, it would have sold more." That's what they're gonna put the spin on it. That's what they're gonna do to try to say the game it's a so-called flop because if it was on PlayStation as well, they would have sold more copies. This is the spin that
It,
the
it, it,
media
it
is
ain't gonna
gonna do.
flop
Well,
because
no, they
it's
can't do
Game
that.
Pass.
Yeah, Game
It's
Pass.
It's
not
Yep.
going to
Game
fly.
Pass.
Game
Yep.
Pass gonna make it for all
I
that.
mean, I know it's not going to flop, but the media will use that to spin it just because it's not on PlayStation, and they will say, "See, if it was on PlayStation,
Well, they
it would have
already did
sold
that.
more."
No, they already said that.
Yeah, they
They
doing
already
that
said
right
it
now.
already. They said it already. Like, yo, it's not going to sell. The game is going to be on. It's on two things. It's on PC and it's on an Xbox console. And as time goes on, which probably by the time it come out, it's going to cloud. That game is not going to flop. Sony enough because you got to realize they
Hmm.
start their damage control ahead of time. What they ponies are trying to do when they getting upset coming up with all these articles. Well, Sony was trying to buy them, and Microsoft they fuck you, not knowing that Microsoft was already in talk to buying this company way before they even know. The PlayStation fan did not know anything about this goddamn game. Maybe Sony have known, but not the damn fans. So whoever put that article up, they threw that article up to try to give them fight. You know how some people just want to wish things into existence. That's what Sony fans are doing. When they whine, they cry. They're trying to wish that they were hoping that if they complain enough and cry out, fuck this blah blah, saying all these fucking derogatory shit to these females and developers and doing all this crazy shit, that Microsoft going to say, okay, we're gonna let the PlayStation get it. That's what I'm
But
talking about.
but see, but see,
That's
but
how
see,
you do it.
but see, I have a problem with that because Sony fans never be held accountable for the bullshit that they do. Now they went at the actress that played Laura Croft because Rise of the Tomb Raider was going to be an Xbox exclusive. Nobody said shit. Instead, they come out and say, "Well, the game is a time exclusive, and it's going to be on PlayStation a year later." Square Enix wasn't supposed to say shit because Microsoft paid for the game to be made. But just because the Sony fan base was bitching and they act like it was the damn end of the world, they came out and revealed the fact that the game was a time exclusive, and
And
they
that's what
weren't supposed to do
and,
that.
and, and that's what they're hoping will happen again. I'm telling you, that's how they think. See, people in the comment section, and I know y'all be like, this bull flip is hilarious, but I'm dead serious. There is a psychological problem with ponies. Like it doesn't. If we all know this, right? If Sony would have did this, well, we would have been talking about this.
Yeah, no, if
Sony would have
Sony
walked and
did it,
said it.
if
Well, we
Sony would
hear
have
this.
done it, it would have been good business.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Good
And if
business.
Sony would have
Good
did
business.
it,
Right,
they'd be
Microsoft.
telling
You
every
lost.
Xbox fan that had a problem
You
with it
should have.
to
You should
buy
have
a
got it first,
PlayStation if you want to
Microsoft.
play it.
Let me ask y'all
Yup.
a question: Can I play Street Fighter Five on my Xbox?
Nope.
Turn it
Yeah, I
into a dev
can.
kit. Turn it
Yeah,
into a dev kit.
you ain't got to
Well,
turn into a
well,
dev kit.
what can everybody
I'm talking about
outside of
natively.
100 play Street Fighter Five on the on the Xbox?
No, no, no,
That's
no.
the
They
point.
can't.
It's like they can lock down exclusives, and people say, "Well, Microsoft couldn't lock down Rise of the Tomb Raider because it's always been a multiplayer." Well, Street Fighter always been multiplayer. So what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Then they
Spider
say,
Man's always
well,
been multiplayer also.
and then they'll say, well, Sony paid for the Street Fighter to get made. Microsoft paid for Rise of Tomb Raider to get made. They're doing the same shit, but the point is, when Microsoft locked down in certain games, they get shitted on. It's like they're not supposed to do that. Like, how dare you keep a game off PlayStation, but Sony could do it all the time? Because their fan base say, I have a PlayStation. It's the greatest thing on earth. So every game has to be on my console. If you bring out a game that's not on my console, you're trash,
Hey,
or or
Fox,
or,
you need to
or
bring
you're
your ass in
toxic.
here. Yeah, I don't know if Grounded made 4 million in a week. That's a good question.
And
I
and,
don't
and, and
know.
another thing I want to point out, like, how come, like, a lot of these, I know people shouldn't attack developers and stuff like that, or these so-called journalists. I get it, but let's keep this shit real. A lot of these journalists be playing into this fanboy shit themselves. You know what I'm saying? They act like that they don't cater to Sony the way they do. But once you call them out on their bullshit, they want to say, "Oh, you're being toxic,
Toxic.
or you're attacking these gaming journalists." And I know it's the way you should do it. You shouldn't be calling them names or attacking them. Attacking them. You should be able to voice your opinion without saying some crazy shit. But at the same time, they got to admit that they are biased toward Microsoft, but they don't want to admit that, and it's blankly. I said I done seen it so many times. People even got receipts about them being biased and saying stupid ass shit. But then when you call
So,
them out on their bullshit, they want to act like uh you're being toxic and all this other shit.
but listen here though, Rain. It's people who don't come after who don't. Like, what was the last guy name? I forgot the guy name that asked Shaggy do a question. He said, "I don't understand. Didn't you say the same thing? Wasn't you happy about Mike said Sony with this company such and such? What's the difference? Oh, you're being toxic. You're being that's a like he didn't come at you. He didn't call you name or anything. How is it that I can voice? How can I voice my opinion without you saying I'm being toxic? But let's look at it again. As you said before, I mean we said it before. If it's a PlayStation guy, oh, it's okay. No one say nothing. They just sweep it under the rug. I said a couple weeks ago. I'm not saying what they should have did to Alana was right, but look at it from this point. She knew what she was getting in, and I understand somebody saying she said something about it. No, she did not say anything about it when the first time they was being toxic. She did. She said spoke up about it after Bill and a whole bunch of other people spoke up about it. Then she wanted to decide to talk up and say something. And we was Xbox fans was saying this way before Phil came out and said anything. Like, yo, that's not cool. Talking about raping that woman and her child that did the works of Tomb Raider. Like you say, Sony don't say nothing. I don't understand how they get a pass with saying all this crazy shit, beating their dick, making their console, all that crazy shit. How they get a pass with that? But if we come and talk calmly and ask questions or whatever, or call them out, or in a nice, polite way, because I have seen that. Oh, you're being toxic.
Well, Brian got me. Brian got me blocked, and I ain't never said shit to him.
Oh, okay, here we go again.
Kevin got me blocked, and I ain't never said a word. It's a lot of them guys
Another.
got me blocked, and I ain't said a
Oh,
word to them.
hold on, Bo. You're right. I don't remember the guy name, but it was a
Now you
guy
know what
that
it
was
is.
blocking. Hold on, Live. It was a guy that was blocking everybody that had that Scorpio symbol. Remember when the Xbox One, the Xbox One X was came out? Remember the X came out? Everybody was putting the emoji Scorpio in their name and stuff like that. That dude was blocking everybody who had that emoji, and people didn't even understand why. I don't remember the guy's name, but I do remember that dude. I do remember him blocking people, and people was like, "Yo, I don't even know the dude. I ain't even say nothing. What up? They just blocked me. You're blocking someone else because they have that Xbox. What was it? It was the Scorpio sign emoji up on it. So you like, are you that butthurt because Sony didn't come out with something? See, that is the thing that I don't understand that they're doing that. Like you said, what you say, Bones? Some dude block you. You don't even know who the hell he is. You ain't even say
Yeah.
nothing to the boy and he blocked. Who does that? What grown man and a journalist is going to block? My thing is this: if you're a journalist and you can't handle that type of pressure or whatever, then you should not be doing that because that comes along with the job. The one saying "fuck you," I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna beat you the fuck up, fuck your father, none of that. People just asking general questions. Y'all can't handle that. I don't get it. Go ahead, Lyle.
Yep. Hey man, a lot of this the journalism, a lot of it's clickbait. So it's to draw traffic to whatever their site is. So they know that they're gonna, attract a certain type. And let's be honest, more people that are hardcore PlayStations are online looking for this shit than Xbox or Nintendo fans. It just is what it is. The numbers speak for themselves. So that's why they cater to that crowd. Now, Microsoft is regaining some of its footing that it lost with at the end of the 360, but it's a slow grind back uphill. A lot of these cast of diehard ponies. I mean, you know what it reminds me of? It's like a lot of the media members. I'm not saying all, but a lot of them were basically hardcore PlayStation fans, and they went into media knowing that they wanted to control the narrative for PlayStation. You know, because if you look at a lot of them, they go in the media, then they try to become like community organizers for or do other things within the video game division, but they usually try to go through the media route. If they can't go directly to whatever their favorite company is, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo. Well, Nintendo is hard to get to because most of their shit is on Japan and whatnot. But for um for Xbox and Sony, cats trying to work for those publishers or Ubisoft or whomever, they use that media route because it gets you that access to these people, and then you can kind of slip in your resume and then possibly get a job over there. But I just find that they yes they're biased, um, but it's kind of to be expected at this point, man. They've been talking shit about Xbox since when it first came out, so that's not even nothing
Yeah,
new.
right,
Uh-huh.
The only
right.
reason why they stopped giving 360 ish because the PlayStation fucked up so much they couldn't help it. They were just like, damn, we're gonna have to talk nice about this console because look at the games that PlayStation is
Say it
giving us.
again.
These games are
Say
trash,
it again.
and Microsoft is coming out. Damn, they console got fucking all these apps and shit. Damn, PlayStation ain't got shit but a fucking browser. This is some bullshit.
And Pornhub.
So yeah. So they had no choice but so back then you had no choice. But even if you was a die-hard pony, you had to get an Xbox 360. I mean, well, unless you're just gonna be one of those motherfuckers that's gonna die on that hill. Everybody talking about they got Netflix, and you over there talking about what you watch? What's that? No, I ain't got that shit. I ain't got because Netflix didn't come to PlayStation till what, like 3 years later.
I believe so.
So you
I
know,
believe so. That
so I
sounds
mean,
about right.
it was a rough go for a lot of those PlayStation guys, man. And I think that if you if you really think about it, a lot of those guys that were hardcore PS3 fans, basically, are the young dudes that became, joined the media, like the Greg Millers and all that. And it's like, it's our time, you know what I mean? When the PS4 came out, and they kind of,
Remember
they
that,
pushed
huh?
their
You
narrative.
remember that,
Because
huh?
think about,
You
because remember, they
remember
were
that,
talking
huh?
about at the beginning of the generation, they were talking about how the DualShock 4 is better than the Xbox
Mm-hmm.
One controller, right? Remember that shit? Oh, it feels so
Yeah.
good in your hand. Oh, I definitely like it more. Now the narrative is, oh, that DualShock 4 was trash. It was never as good as the Xbox One controller. But this DualSense, man, that thing is way superior than the X. Be like, hold up, I thought the DualShock 4 was better. Nah, I was lying my ass off. So yeah, and then
Hold on,
and then the
hold on,
next thing.
huh? How
And the
you
next
switch
thing you're
it?
gonna hear is next time next time it's gonna be, oh, that dual sense one was trash. This dual sense two, oh man, that's way better than this Xbox
Well,
controller.
hold on. How you switch the narrative from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5. I was like, how you? Oh my God, these dudes is funny. I don't get it. I don't get it. Vodka said, what was it? 1 million player. I think he was talking about on Grounded within 2 days.
Because everybody downloaded, they want to play
Yeah,
it.
Rocky, you need
The
to
thing
hop in
about it, buy our
yeah.
game.
I know it had
I
like
don't know
1
exactly what
million
you're
in the
talking
first
about.
month or something like that. First
Yeah,
month, first 2 months.
See if these is busting records.
yeah, 20 million.
You know what I'm saying?
20,
That's
20
probably gonna
fucking
be the
million
next $1 billion franchise.
to keep pacing the way it goes.
Oh yeah, the
Okay, how
next
many? Let
big
me ask you
issue is
this.
going to be huge.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. How many players you think? How many players you think is going to gain other than the 20 million that they have added on to this Tuesday when the DLC coming out? Because believe it or not, people may not want to
Oh,
believe
well,
it.
see,
I know
these.
the
I don't even
pony.
know how many is they having now.
I know the pony don't like it. Don't want to believe it, but Jack Sparrow, there are a lot of people that like Jack Sparrow. A lot of people that like that. Like them that like that character. So I'm just saying. I don't see it going to 20 and it's going to stay to 20. I see it increasing, but how much I have no clue.
You probably add another 3 to 5 million players on Tuesday because you got the whole Caribbean license.
Mm-hmm.
You add his own separate story.
Yep.
So people gonna go out there and just because it's Disney, how many Disney movies just sell just because it's Disney?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're right.
So that's all
But
they need.
now,
What? Oh, we own. You're gonna see so many. It might crash service. There's gonna be so many people in the waters.
I believe it will.
I just found out how everybody used to crap on Sea of Thieves and everybody love it.
Uh huh.
And
I've
and
been
and and
recalled. I've been
and
recalled a whole bunch of motherfuckers.
and that's why you shouldn't kill a game when it first come out because you don't know what the potential a game could have in the future. Because even look at Uncharted. When that first game came out, it was clanky as hell. The control was pretty bad. But guess what? They didn't stop making them. They let them improve on the game. The game got better.
Well, they talk to the community. See, think about it with Sea of Thieves. They talk to the community once a week. Just like
Right.
people from State of Decay, they talk once a week. They tell you what they're doing, telling you what they're fixing. They actually interacting. I don't see nobody from Sony interacting on nothing. They don't talk to you. You can barely get them on the phone for a refund until they're gonna tell you to say no.
You're right about that. Ask all Nathan Lucas. He know about that very well. Him and Sony got a very good relationship.
But see, they don't want to hear the truth.
Hmm.
They don't want to hear the truth. They want everything. It's just like man, they train people. You do what I say.
Sony don't give them what they have. They give them what they want them to have.
Yeah. Look at grounding.
That's it.
Grounded people. Ground. Nobody want to play that. Look how they hooking that game up. Somebody got to keep playing them games for them to keep on putting
4 million.
money into it.
But here's the thing though. There's nothing wrong with Grounded. If Grounded was a damn Switch game, people be in love with it.
So that's what
Cause
I'm saying. They
motherfuckers,
want
cause motherfuckers be going crazy over Animal Crossing, but shit on Grounded.
people's going crazy for what's that Advanced Wars. I'm like, that's still like the same game. But since it's on Nintendo, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But we get Halo Wars. Oh, that's dog shit. They both strategy games. So it is what it, like I say, Microsoft said they ain't competing with Sony or Nintendo.
But another thing too, like these Sony dudes keep tripping about the console sales, but Microsoft killed
Mhm.
console sales narratives with Game Pass. They telling you the future is not gonna be console sales because sooner or later we ain't gonna really have physical boxes when all said and done. Everything gonna be digital, you
Telling you.
know. And once Game Pass gets bigger than what it is now, only thing you're gonna need is an app on your TV or your console.
Yeah.
Listen here. Don't be
Yeah.
surprised if you start seeing Roku making Xboxes, some fire sticks and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
See.
be surprised.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of these Game Pass hater dudes. They always talk about how Game Pass is like fodder, and they only put bad games in there. But like that shit don't make no sense, bro. Nobody's gonna use a service that's not worth anything. Just because you put
Right.
that'd be like, oh, guess what? I got a service. We put all shitty movies in there, and it's $2 a month. You want to buy it? Like, no, I don't want to pay money to see shitty movies. Like, what the fuck are you
I
talking about?
don't like I don't know like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all that, and I can tell you straight up, uh, e- all across the board, like you're not gonna have a service like that and say all the movies that you watch is good. You're gonna have some duds in there.
No,
You know what I'm saying? With anything
of
you have,
course,
there's
that's
gonna
gonna
be
be
some
any
duds.
service.
But people act like when it comes to Game Pass, every single game has to be good. But here's the thing: when it comes with games is subjective in a lot of ways because I might like something that you may not like. Just because I don't like it, don't mean the game is trash.
I mean, that's no
It's a lot of
different than the
people.
movies. I
It's a
mean,
lot of people don't like
the,
2K. I like 2K, but a lot of people say it's trash. Some people prefer Live, but that don't mean Live is trash because I like 2K.
yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm gonna take that
it's
back.
just like
Live is trash. I'm
Nah,
gonna take that
live is
back.
pretty
Live is trash.
trash.
They gonna say, "Hey, Ray, you know they gonna fuck with you." No.
yeah, it's just like what's that that movie? Oh, the was it just came out on Prime Infinite
Oh yeah,
or
I like the
Paramount.
Infinite. Yeah,
Paramount. It was like
yeah, I know. I'm talking
Infinite.
about. Yeah, I
I
watched it.
wasn't a huge fan of it. I didn't think it was a terrible movie, but I didn't think it was a great movie neither. But I'm sure when they made the movie, they didn't set out to be like, all right, we want to make a movie that's just okay. No, they tried to make something that was good, and they might have fell short of that for whatever reason, you know.
That
But
movie was what it was supposed to get straight down to the point.
yeah, but it wasn't like no budget. Like you,
Yeah,
it's not like you look at it and be like, oh, they didn't spend no money on this movie. No, they definitely spent money on it.
yeah.
It just,
You
it just didn't
had
hit
to
like
pay
that.
Warburton in that movie and the other dude. They cost.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, so yeah, it definitely costs, but that's what I'm saying. Like all these services, you got Netflix, Disney Plus, all that. Well, they're all putting money in there. So the fact that you people think that Microsoft could just throw games and Game Pass and people will buy that shit don't make no sense, bro. That's not how that shit works. Nobody's gonna buy a service. They already have services that have old games. There are ways to play just old games. If that's what Microsoft's going to do, just literally just throw old games in Game Pass. You know what I mean? With no enhancements, no nothing, just old games. Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. But that's in their mind. That's how they feel it is, or they feel that, or the games that come day and date are going to be trash. But it's just like that shit don't make any sense either. Like you want you. The reason why Disney Plus is because is catching up as quick as it is because of the big movies that they add in there. Some free, some you got to pay for. Like
Right.
I think Black Widow you got to pay for, but that new movie that came out, the kids movie Luca, was free. With this, well, it came in the service. You didn't have to pay anything additional. The Xbox is doing a lot of the same shit. Think about it. Forza Horizon 5 comes out, right? You can get the base game standard free, right? Or you could pay with your Game Pass subscription. You pay the premium pass, which gets you access to all that trinkets that you would if you paid the $90, or and you get the early access. And Bone did that shit last time. I didn't know that it was a possibility, and I paid the $99. I said, "Oh shit, they got me. I ain't know this shit existed." So this
Yeah,
time
for
I will be
$40 you
getting the
got
premium
everything.
pass
Hmm.
because I ain't getting rid of Game Pass for what? No, I need that shit.
You know,
It shit saves me a lot of money,
Battlefield
and I play a lot of
2042
games. So
won't
you
be in
know,
Game Pass. So what?
So right now is a bad time to
I
get
re-
rid of it. Shit.
I
But
All
guess
these
remember.
what? I
games
don't have to
coming.
pay. I don't have to pay $70 for it. I get a discount because I have Game
yeah.
Pass.
See, you know what Microsoft Slick did, right? Y'all remember the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, right before the Xbox One came out, they had a plan set up, but they were trying to do a set plan with GameStop. It was going to be a three-way split between Microsoft, the developers, and GameStop, where the developers would get a percentage off the used game sales, right?
Hmm.
GameStop didn't want to do that shit. They didn't want the developers to get none of the used game sales. And remember, they refused to sell Xboxes that had that didn't have the physical disc. So
Hmm.
now with Game Pass, this bypassed all that bullshit and went straight digital and just did it. Microsoft just went on ahead and did it basically. You know what I'm saying? And now GameStop looking like some idiots because if they would have jumped on the digital thing early, they wouldn't be in this situation that they're in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But they was against digital because they I understand they bread and butter was used games was physical copies. I get it, but you got to move with the times, bro. You know what I'm saying? And now I go into GameStop. They they are going to sell consoles that have digital games in them. They ain't got no choice but to do it.
Well, they don't get my money at all. I'd rather give it to Amazon,
And
Best
then
Buy.
then on top of that, a lot of these idiots claiming, oh, their developers are not making no money off the game. Don't you know how many developers done came out and say that they good on that end? They're making money hand over fist with Game Pass. You want to know why?
But
Because a lot of them Sony dudes who talking all the shit about Game Pass don't really buy the damn game. They wait for the game to go on PlayStation Plus and get it for free and play it. That same thing what they did in the PS3 era. A lot of them AAA games Sony put in PlayStation Plus. The Sony fanboys didn't buy the games. They waited till they became free, then played them. So what Sony do? They re-release them motherfuckers on the PS4 and be like, hey, we gonna get our money back.
well, I'm trying to support the developers. They niggas funny as shit when they say that shit. I don't give a fuck who said that. Whether if you cool
Well,
me or not, man, I ain't
if
trying
they
to hear
support
that.
their developers, why Sony has one only $1 billion franchise?
No. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying for the homies that's my homies and stuff. Talking about them
Oh,
trying to support developers. Cut that bullshit out. Stop it.
oh,
Stop
I've
it.
been said that.
You
I've
sound
been. I said,
foolish
man,
when you talk
developers
like that.
pay my phone bill, pay
No, that's
my
not
house
what I'm
bill.
talking about. No, it's not even about that. This is a
Mm.
business. These developers are getting paid in Game Pass. Like, stop it. Stop being foolish. Stop acting like a little child. I mean, okay, if you want to spend your money, I'm not going to tell you that. But then I look at it like this: if you feel that strongly about, I don't want this to come to Game Pass, I want this. You can't pick and choose what you want the game come to Game Pass. That's not how that's going to work. No, if that's the case, then get rid of Game Pass and just pay for every fucking game that comes out. That's how I see it. Exactly how I see it. You shouldn't tell someone you shouldn't want a game not to come to Game Pass just because if you don't understand that economic of how they are getting paid or the system of how Microsoft is doing it, then leave it alone. You shouldn't be playing video games. Your job is not to wonder whether which should come or which shouldn't come to Game Pass because you want to spend your money up front for it before it comes to Game Pass. What you should be worried, what you should be thinking about is, you know what? If it comes to Game Pass, I'm happy. I never heard someone who was willingly want to spend their money. Microsoft is trying to give you a system which though you can save money. If you don't want that,
Right.
That doesn't make
and
sense to me.
and
It
and what
sounds
it
stupid.
and also what they don't realize, the Game Pass is going to help developers to the point where they won't have to put so many microtransactions in these video games to make extra money. They could cut down on that shit with Game Pass.
Yeah.
Cause that's the reason why they were doing some. Remember, the microtransaction had went up like tremendously last generation
It
because
had.
the developers wasn't getting the money that they should have been getting, because a lot of these gamers, so-called gamers, wasn't buying the game. They wait for they come on sale, and when they come to GameStop, people will buy the game, play it for like a week or whatever, and take it back to GameStop, whatever, and trade them in. So that cuts into the developer's pocket as far as revenue. So to make up for that revenue, they start hacking you with microtransactions left and right to make up that money.
Yep, yep. But man, any questions in the chat before we get off this bad boy? I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and the mothers that's out there that's fathers too. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Happy fucking Father's Day to all the
you know.
fuckers that got children. No,
Now,
fuck that. Hey, I hold on.
to these dudes in the chat talking about Halo play best on PC and all this. Here's the thing: if you want to play Halo on PC, go right ahead, but you got to play it through Game Pass. You still get Microsoft money. You know what I'm saying? So either way it go, you play it on PC or Xbox, Microsoft still getting that bag.
and
Mm-hmm.
and on
You can go
behalf
buy
of
it off of Steam
Microsoft,
too. Microsoft get that money. You can go buy it on the what you
and,
call it.
and behalf on Microsoft. Thank you. Now, how you feel about man? I don't know how you feel about that. Sony and them is not going to get this may be their last batch of council until around this time next year.
That's on them.
Lawa, wake up.
I really don't care.
But like I told you
I ain't get
before,
one.
yeah. I know though, but like I said before, yes, that is confirmed
If I
because
want
of
to
the
play
name.
Days Gone, if I want to play Days Gone, I'm gonna go through the Xbox browser, the Edge browser on the Xbox. Go pay the
Mm-hmm.
14 days of PlayStation Now and play it, and then take my card off and use another 14 days. That's what they've been doing. That was their little secret sauce that
Say
nobody
what?
didn't know
Hold
about.
on, whoa. Say that again. They said what?
Okay, they go get the 14-day trial, right? Wait almost to the
Okay,
14-day,
okay.
kill it off, and then do another 14 days. That's how
Damn,
they
that's crazy.
PlayStation Now.
That's crazy.
So if I really want to
I ain't
play a
look.
PlayStation game, I can go play it. I can go on PlayStation Now and play it through my browser. I don't even need to
You
get a
don't even got to
Well,
do
PlayStation.
that. Shit, just keep your PS4 and play it like that.
Yeah, I can do
All the
that too.
you
That's
PS5
have.
so
games will
dusty.
come to the PS4, so might
I
as well
was
just
I
hold
was
on to
about to
that,
say that.
or go to
I was about to
GameStop,
say
buy
that.
one for cheap, and just play it like that.
Well, you know what? You know what? I think Sony increase of console sales may come with the PlayStation 5. I mean PlayStation 4. Because like I said, it's been reported even on the news that the factory where they do the main testing and all this other stuff for a lot of product, and including the PlayStation 5 itself. Um, Life Good and all them other dudes that like fucking people grandma in VR look like they're gonna be in VR a whole lot longer than what I expected, because you're not gonna get no console until around this time next year. And that is even if they start production of manufacturing the chip that they need for the PlayStation 5, you may not get it until the end of next year. That's bad. That's real bad news for y'all. And all I
Mm-hmm.
can say is Microsoft, at least they have other manufacturing, other outlet that make the manufacturing their chip that they need. So I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
don't
also,
know how
Microsoft
y'all
they
going
got
to do
Game
it.
Pass too, so
Yup,
you don't even got to
we can
buy a
use.
console. You play that shit on your cell phone. It'll be good.
No, matter of fact, furniture, you can use your tablet, your cell phone, your PC.
Yep. You don't even need a console to play that game.
But you can't do that with Sony. So I'm just thinking, like, if that was Microsoft, if the world was reversed and it was Microsoft, or say if it does happen to Microsoft, you have a lot of options of still playing next generation games, unlike Sony. And I mean, I'm saying it's fucked up, but hey man, it is what it is. Y'all better
But they
go. Y'all
don't.
better go get your scalpel on.
But they
Y'all
don't
better go buy
understand. But they don't.
the
What they don't
1800 at
understand.
PlayStation.
What they don't understand. It's not about console. So it's about software. Who's selling more
Yeah,
software?
Because that's why they make their money.
Well,
They make most of their money off their software.
yeah.
They
Who's
lose
going into
money
their
on the
store
hardware.
buying movies and buying games?
Mm-hmm.
no,
Sony
but
got
see,
rid of got rid
but
of their movie shit. And, nobody's
but
buying these shit.
hold on, boom. For
They're throwing up
Sony,
this
it's
SSD
all
drive.
about hardware. Not only that, where y'all screwed like twice. Y'all still don't have no means of saving your game other than an external. Like I don't see. Like you do understand. Like it came out again that their SSD, their internal hard drive for you to clip one in there, the SSD in there, uh, that came to a problem. They can't even make them draw. They got problems with that. So I'm not quite sure how Sony is going to handle that. Because for
They open
those
up
who
they
do,
open up the back of it. They open up the backup so you can hook up a regular external drive and you can swap. You can swap games through.
yeah, but I'm saying for the
No, but that little
SSD,
slot is probably going to overheat the
they
console.
got
They have
That
to figure that
SSD,
out.
you're not going to see that. That's just you ain't gonna see that SSD no time soon because you got to
yeah,
find
but
the
that's
right
what I'm
one.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. Like
And
they're
usually with
having
those
problems
SSDs, you
with
need a
that.
heat sink to go with that.
Yeah,
I don't think no
they
heat
have
sink can fit.
as Lawwire said, that console was poorly built. They're having a lot of problems with that console. Not just manufacturing a particular chip. They got problem with that console all the way around. So I don't understand how they're saying Xbox, PlayStation have a lot of games when they don't. They really don't. Y'all really don't have nothing to play. I would not be surprised 2022. God of War get pushed back. Well, not that one. What's the other game? The chick that was walking on the branch like she was Wilson.
Horizon,
Yeah,
Horizon.
Horizon. That game, I would not be surprised if Horizon get pushed back to next year. That's why I was asking that earlier. Like, nah, I think Horizon is going to get pushed back to next year.
Horizon already got put back to next year.
It did.
Yeah,
Sure.
they have no first party exclusives coming out this year.
Yeah, when they showed the game, they didn't show no release date. So
Yeah, the only thing that came out was Ratchet and Clank. They don't got nothing up the pipeline.
Damn, that's crazy. Y'all got people to
Gran
talk about.
Turismo got
and
pushed.
God of
Gran
War got
Turismo don't
pushed
have a
back.
date.
Gran Turismo got pushed back.
Well, let me hold on.
Yes, they really ain't got nothing coming, really.
Listen here, listen. I ain't even worried about Gran Turismo because I never believed that was ever coming out. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That shit ain't coming out for like
Come out with 10
4 years
cars.
later.
It's gonna come out with
Yeah,
10 cars.
yeah. I don't believe them. I don't believe it. Sony could go fuck themselves and tell that shit to their fans because I don't believe it. I do not believe that shit. How long have they been talking about Gran Turismo? They've been talking about Gran Turismo since what? The fucking
Ride Dub went
PlayStation
away.
4. But we haven't even seen that. I don't believe that shit.
They've
That's
been talking
just
about
like the
that since
last
Sport
fucking
came out. When
possum.
did Sport come out?
Hold on. How long was they working on that game, the last possum? How many times did they push that game back? So when I look at that shit, that game, the last possum, that's exactly what I think of Gran Turismo. They're gonna push
E-
that game
Even
the fuck
even
back.
if Sony bring out Gran Turismo, Microsoft still have Forza Motorsport and Horizon.
Like that Motorsport gonna be a beast when they come out.
And
Man,
listen here, Gran Turismo don't have nothing to compete with. For the Horizon gave Gran Turismo an uppercut. I'm sorry, it gave Gran Turismo an uppercut. How can you compete with that? How? When they rebuilding for the motorsport with ray tracing from the ground up. I'm sorry. There's no way Sony's going to be able to afford that. They
See,
can't.
see,
I'm sorry,
Nope.
compete with that.
see,
And it's
see,
an open world game too.
see. Sony thought they was slick. See what they did like, when they brought out Drive Club. I honestly believe Drive Club really supposed to be Gran Turismo, but they slapped Drive Club name on it, so when the game came out, it won't be critically acclaimed racer, and they won't get backlash for it not being as good as Forza. Because think about it, if Drive Club was actually Forza, I mean, if Drive Club was actually had Gran Turismo name attached to it, it would have got ran through the ringer because people were like, well, it's not as good as Forza. But see, Sony was smart and was like, okay, we're gonna slap Drive Club on this thing, and that way it won't get dragged through the mud.
You think that's what they were trying to? They were trying to do the 1-2 buck by shoe move.
Right.
That was supposed to be. That's
Cause
messed
think
up.
about it. Why would the hell would you give us Drive Club when you got Gran Turismo? Well, what was the point in Drive Club?
They're supposed to
I
give
have
you a
no
free game.
clue.
Free, we're gonna have a free mode, a game mode where you can just have this free game. How long that took? 3, 4 years for them to give it to you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Let me ask you
here's
this:
to it, and
Did
then they
that
took it away
did,
in 5 minutes.
did that have a multiplayer?
Gran
Drive Club?
Turismo.
No, Drive Club. Did that have a multiplayer?
Yeah, I
No,
think
they
it
had a
did, but
multiplayer. Yeah, nobody played it, but they
Huh?
had one.
Well, let me. You know
they
what? Let me go back to what I used to say before. When I used to tell people when Xbox first came out, you know what I was looking at Xbox as in a portable PC that had online capability that was running good, and I looked at Sony as in a single player box. Initially that's what I was thinking. All right, well, I can play one with a single player, and I can play one that has multiplayer and all this other stuff. I'm cool with that. I don't. I forgot who it was that said in that comment section. What is the purpose again of Sony having a multiplayer? It can't just be for third party games. If you
No,
telling
basically
me
what they're
they're
doing is just
freaking
milking their fans. Really, they just doing it just for the money. Because there's really no other reason to have it other than to milk their fans for an easy $60 a year.
Right. And the thing about it is they're using third party for the multiplayer. That way they won't have to make a first party multiplayer game
Hmm.
themselves.
And they just collect the money, and that's it.
Right.
but
Third parties do all the work.
they don't do no communication on that game. They don't
Yeah.
interact with one another in their party. They don't. They never
And,
did it from the PlayStation 3. They haven't done it. I
and you
know,
know
but I have
and
one.
and then what I find funny, they used to rag on Xbox guys for playing multiplayer games, you know. And now when Sony got the damn Call of Duty deal, they
Hmm.
were throwing their panties at E3. All these Sony dudes that was in the E3 crowd throwing their panties at E3, they G strings and on stage they were so happy.
Sure, I remember when
You
they used to call the
understand?
Xbox the dude bro box.
You
All we
do.
Exactly.
played was
You
shooters and
do under,
multiplayer.
You do understand that you're just all you're saying is this proving. All you're doing is proving a point, proving the fact that Sony are the biggest fucking flip flopper ever. They're the biggest flip flopper. First, you don't want it. We don't need that. Blah blah blah. Now y'all want it. Oh, this thing is okay. Nah, your game online suck. Then when you
Right.
get what you call, that game play good. Like
Hmm.
I don't
Look
know,
how they
man.
acting with an Insomniac game that was exclusive to Xbox.
what
Sunset
Sunset
Overdrive.
Overdrive?
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
What
You
did
they
remember
they
how
do?
cracked on
trash
that.
they said that
Yeah,
game
they was
was?
trashing the fuck out.
And
Yeah,
how they
they
doing
was.
jumper jacks with Jesus, like you say,
Yeah,
Flip.
they want that. Yeah, they
And
want
they
that
thinking
game.
they
They
about to
want
do that
part two.
remaster. They think they about to get that
Michael,
remaster and the
you,
part
you,
twos
you,
for
you,
PlayStation.
you you know what
Hmm.
though? If I was Microsoft, I would sell it to Sony. Shave a couple of dollars off their next fucking Azure bill. Would you just take Bo shave a couple dollars off the Azure server, the
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure that they use on
Yeah, because
Microsoft,
when you log
shave
into
a couple dollars
PlayStation
off.
now, you're logging into Microsoft servers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if I was Microsoft, yeah, I would do a trade off. I would do that. Like, go ahead.
Well, I'll put this way: you got to find out the relationship. When they did that with Remedy, with Alan Wake, that's because they had a good relationship with
Right.
with them, and they bought it
You
back.
don't think
Matter of fact,
you don't think
Microsoft gave it to them. They didn't even sell it to them. They gave them Alan Wake.
yeah, yeah, they just let them have it. Right, they did. They said they can have that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But
So that
see,
means every time somebody buy it or play it, Remedy get money off of that.
but they
Very
got
nice.
they got to remember, people forget about Perfect Dark coming out too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't wait
Yep.
to see what that
And
look like.
Let
that
me
flight
Oh
let me ask
man,
simulator.
y'all this.
Oh my god, that flight
Let me ask y'all
simulator.
this. Hold on. We're gonna go there just that fast, man. Hold on. What do you think Perfect Dark gonna look like? Or be like? Because Punisher, I can't fucking stand you. If I had control of the door, I would kick you out. He got me thinking. I keep thinking like, but damn, I wonder what whatchamacallit gonna look like if Horizon 5 look like that. Damn, that
are you
shit
talking about
got me
Fable?
wondering. Yeah, they got me wondering. So I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah. If Horizon
who
5 look
who
like that,
who
I can just
who
imagine what
making
Fable gonna look like.
who's making
Man,
whatchamacallit? Who's making Perfect Dark? Who making that game?
the initiative.
Yeah, the initiative making it.
Yeah, that new studio that Microsoft put together from the ground up.
I'm
The
Hmm.
trying to
initiative.
think what that game gonna look like. Like
It's gonna be a
I don't
first
know.
That
person
game gonna
shooter.
look crazy.
No, not just that, but what it like think about it. With this
I think
oh
that game
man.
gonna look more mature because that's what that game will always be mature.
Right.
Well,
So
hopefully,
it's
with that
gonna look
game, they
more
switch
realistic.
between third and
Yeah,
first
it ain't gonna.
person.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
it
they
ain't
do
gonna be
something
no.
like that.
Yeah,
I
it
think
ain't
it
gonna be
might.
no.
I
Ain't
think
gonna
it's
be no
gonna.
shell shedding kitty type of shit. I think
I,
you
th-
gonna see
I
her.
think it's gonna
Cause
probably
Mm-hmm.
Rare
look
used
on.
to make that. Rare
I
was the
That's
one
think.
that
gonna be
made
like
that
a
game first.
photorealistic first
I
person
think it's.
shooter.
I think it's gonna look like Far Cry.
Nah, you mean like what
Nah,
you
I
mean
don't think
like
it should look
You
like
know
what do you
what?
that.
mean?
Mm.
It look
What
like
do you
it can
mean
look
by
like
Far
Far Cry,
Cry?
but
You
it
talking
can
about
look.
like the
I'm
open
not.
world
I'm
You know
not
elements
what?
that
It
was
talking
can
done?
look
about
like
the
Far Cry.
engine. Cause no Far Cry got an old ass engine. I'm talking about as far as like the visuals. I mean, it's gonna look better than Far Cry, but I'm talking about the um the overall look, like the realistic look.
Yeah.
Open
Flip.
environment and
Think
all.
about
Yeah,
this.
I see what you
Far
doing.
Cry.
I
Far
see
Cry is a
what you
multi. Far Cry is a multi-plat. That is a exclusive. So
So
so they
so
only
would
got
you
to do it.
so
Well,
would
no,
you
I think what he's
say
trying to say is
so
gonna
so
look
would you
like Far Cry
if
as far as the open world
like open world,
mechanics.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
could you say would you say this will be our version of Far Cry?
It
I hope so. If
but
they do it like
it
that,
could
yeah,
be Far Cry, but she
it could be like
espionage.
an
You know what I'm
open
saying? She's a
world.
spy. It could be our version of Splinter Cell. She's just a
It could
girl.
be like an open world Splinter Cell, but
Right,
first person
right.
with Far Cry mechanics. Now,
Cause she
that'd
got
be
all the
nice.
best weapons. Cause I remember going there. You could throw on a silencer on
Oh,
your
okay,
gun.
Maka.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had different ways to go do things.
It got
But I'm
weird when
with
it came
Punisher.
down
It
to
could
the
be
aliens
first
and
person or
shit.
third person. You could switch between them two.
Yeah, switch between the
Yeah,
two.
I would very much like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing that and uh uh seeing that as a hold on. Oh, thanks a lot, yo. Yeah, that's a great podcast, guys. Thank you. I wouldn't mind seeing that being like Far Cry. I wouldn't mind seeing an open world in a big city and stuff. A big city and you're doing espionage or because I would think of either Far Cry
Mm. Or they can make it
or
like
shit,
I,
man.
semi-open,
I
kind of
think
like
it's.
Tomb Raider,
I think
maybe.
it's gonna
Do something
probably
like
be like
that.
a mix between Far Cry and Halo.
Futuristic. Future is
Yeah,
an open
because
world.
remember that the time frame on Perfect Dark is like in the future, right?
Yeah, it
Yes, in
was.
the future.
But they can
It
make
was
it more
way
like
in
a
the future.
cyberpunk type, like
Yeah,
futuristic type
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I don't think it's too far.
But I
I,
don't
I
think it'd
don't
be
think it's.
like
I think
Halo.
it's a
That's too
little
far
bit
in the
shorter
future.
than Cyberpunk. I think it's like in the
What do you mean?
middle, like
What do you mean?
like
It's
in
gonna
ours,
be
like
like Total Recall.
Like it'd be like right in the middle
yeah, like
Yeah,
between
yeah, like something
it's
like
between
way in the
modern and
future, bro.
it's
futuristic,
not
like right in the
super
middle.
far out.
No, it's way in the future.
No,
It's
the
right.
last one was super far out in the future. She used regular guns. She just had silencers and stuff like that. And you
Yeah, she
think
had a
about
bunch
it,
of gadgets.
you was in Hong Kong or Singapore, something like that. You wasn't like in America or something like that. So
No,
they've
no,
always
you was
been
going
high tech.
around. No, you've been going around. No, bro, you've been going around different worlds. You've been going around different places and stuff. But you gotta realize that game had aliens in it. That shit was weird. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell?
And Perfect Dark Zero,
Yeah, the motherfuckers had aliens in it.
I don't remember
So I
that
was
in
looking
Perfect.
like, what the hell? Yeah, I was like, what the
But
hell?
you
The
ain't got to
alien
be
get the
super in the
alien.
future to have no aliens. Prey had aliens.
Nah, but see,
Yeah, but
well,
they gotta
Prey
understand
wasn't
too
on.
that this is a
Prey is
reboot,
not
so they might
on Earth.
not have all that.
Original Prey had aliens.
Yeah, I know, but original Prey was not on Earth. That was somewhere else, another planet.
That was on Earth.
No, that was on
No,
Earth.
that
They was they
No, that
No,
Native
was not on
we ain't
Earth.
Americans or
talking about the
something?
remake. We ain't
Well,
talking
that's
about the
some kind of
remake.
No,
spiritual type
we're
thing.
telling
The
you.
original Prey,
No,
they was on the Indian reservation.
Mm-hmm.
no, Bone. The Indian got taken up into space.
They
It was
was
on
on
another
Earth.
planet. No,
Yeah,
Bone.
they
He
ended up
got
getting
taken up.
snatched, but they got
Bone.
snatched from Earth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then he got picked up and went to another planet. That's what I'm saying. Go back and play that game. They was doing some wild
I
shit
don't
on
think he
that
went
game.
back to another planet. I forgot the ending of
Yes, he
that game.
did. No, he
I know
did
he
went
was
to
on that
another
ship.
planet.
I know you was going back and
Yeah.
forth through that ship.
Yo, he was going back and forth through portals. He was not on Earth at all. They snatched him up in the beginning because he was drunk in a bar and he was in a car. He was like, oh man, what's going on? I remember that game like the back of my hand, dog. And they lifted him up and took him up into space. Because I was like, whoa, this game is hot. That crazy stuff that was going on, like how you see the bull chasing you and you running like, what the fuck? And the whole scene switched. Then you was real little. Then you was real little. Then you got real big. Then you start seeing all them human bodies. And he was chasing that, looking for his girlfriend, the chick that he was messing with or whatever. Because they was hooked up on that machine and stuff. And the
It was his
machine was
girlfriend and his
harvesting people.
grandpa.
Right. Yeah, that was not on Earth. That's why I was like, what the hell? Because the second Prey was supposed to be, they were supposed to continue on the second
He was
Prey
supposed to be
game
a bounty
into
hunter.
space. And
Yeah,
no, it wasn't a bounty.
he was supposed to be a bounty
No,
hunter.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
remember
one
him
that they
being
were
on
supposed
bounty
to make
hunter.
that they showed us he was supposed to be a bounty hunter.
Oh,
Remember they had showed
yeah, you're right. The second one, before they scrapped it and gave us this one, yeah, he was
Yeah.
supposed to be a bounty hunter in the future, but they said it was. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. That shit wow. But yeah, but I can see that that's in the future, bro. I'm gonna go back and look at that video again. That video in the future. That Perfect Dark.
Yeah. I wouldn't
I
mind
know one.
Microsoft buying the Two Human franchise. That'd be cool.
You know what
The whole
I wish they
franchise,
would have brought back?
Two
Too
Human.
human. Too human.
that company went under. So you know how sometimes them companies go under, you don't know who owned what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was playing Two Human a couple of weeks ago. People, you know
No,
what? Only thing that happened with
Microsoft
Two
and them,
Human
they
was,
know who owns it.
you know
They
what
know
happened
who
with
owns
Two
it. They
Human
just
was,
probably don't feel like doing it.
yeah, and you know what happened with Two Human was it was overhyped. And
Well,
that
no,
and
Well,
that
what
game was
about?
overhyped.
high at that time.
It was too
I think it was
ambitious
overhyped.
for
Yeah.
that
And it was
time.
You know what
no, it
game?
was
There was just
You
too
overhyped.
know
much going
it wasn't
on.
overhyped. It wasn't overhyped. You know what game that was overhyped and very ambitious that it didn't pay out the way they wanted to do? Oh my God, it was called. Trying to think of the name of the game. It was Event Horizon, Event something.
Venom, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was
Yeah,
AV.
that AV. Yeah, that game was too ambitious and it was overhyped because it fell apart the way I guess I liked that game because that game was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a trilogy. I wish they can go back and try to. I wish they could resurrect that game or something, do something. But I don't know if that was by Microsoft or
No,
what
I
the
think that's what
situation may
Microsoft was
be.
just publishing them games.
Yeah, I mean they might have Microsoft might have it might have been a Microsoft game and they paid them to make it. But I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a game right there. I know for sure. I would love to see them try to do something with that. That and don't laugh. What is it? Abstract Lords of Elements, something like that. It was this blue dude. It was this game on the OG Xbox with a blue dude who was learning how to control on elements. It was big. The game was big. It was a big ass game. That game, the graphics looked crazy on the OG Xbox. That shit was crazy. Like the world, it looked like Avatar. I swear to God, I think that's where they got Avatar from. I swear, I think that's where they got Avatar from. I swear.
Yeah. No, it was another one. I think about it when I ain't thinking about it. I want the Xbox to bring that one back. I remember they had it on the disc.
What was it? What it's called? Don't say
Start with
Brute
an
Force.
X.
I wish they
Come on,
would have
like
brought
I
back Brute
think
Force.
when I'm thinking, huh?
I wish
It
they
was on
would
the
have brought
OG
back Brute
Xbox.
Force. OG, that's what I'm saying. Like all these games I'm talking about, they on the
Yeah, it was
OG
Event Horizon.
Xbox.
It was Event Horizon.
Right,
Iron
Event
Mike.
Horizon. That was good. That shit was on the OG joint. I'm like, damn, it has so much potential. I like the Brute Force. I thought they would have brought that back somehow.
I never played that.
Brute Force together, yeah. I can see people playing Brute Force now. I can see them playing it now today. Multiplayer, because that's basically what it really was. Because it was 4 characters. So I can see them making that. I can see them bringing that back. Shit, they bringing back all them. What was that? That Love for Dead type game. The shit they could have bring back. Brute Force. The crazy thing, people think Microsoft ain't had no game on the OG Xbox. They did. They had a shitload of games.
What was that? They had the card game. Was that Project Gotham?
Yeah. Project Gotham ain't do nothing but get turned into fucking
Turn to
Forza. That's
Forza.
all that
That's
is.
Forza,
That's
pretty
all it
much,
is.
yeah.
That's all that was.
But
Remember
it
when we
would be
were
nice
talking
to bring
about
it
that?
back, make it like Burnout or something.
Nah, they don't need it. Don't need it. That's Forza. I
Burnout
remember
is burnt
Bonus
out.
2 was going up. I remember Stu B's and Bone was going through it. But I'm like, Bone whole point was why bring that back? Stu B was talking about like why would you want to bring something back if you got Forza? What would be the difference bringing back that and you have Forza? That's what I want to know. What would be the
If
difference?
you didn't have, if you didn't say, if you didn't name it, if you recalled, if it was Forza Horizon and you didn't call it Forza Horizon, you made it, you brung that back, that name back. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But other
Yeah,
than
that's what I'm
that,
saying.
no.
Bring it back, but make it a different type of racer, though.
People forget about Sega GT.
You can't.
Sega ain't
That's
giving
what
us shit.
I'm saying the Sega GT racing game, which turned into Forza.
but that's what I'm saying. If you can't ask for these games to come back when you got Forza. Forza is covering every fucking field of racing games.
Not exactly.
Yeah, it is. You
Like
got
Forza is more
motorsport
like
and
an
you got
open
that.
world, but like games like
Okay,
Burnout, that's
but
more like an arcade type game.
But see, EA
Forza's
already has some
arcade too.
Burnout too. But no, but who's playing Burnout anymore?
Forza is
I have
arcade.
Burnout, but it's arcadish.
Yeah, nobody
You
ain't
That's what
can
I'm
playing
actually
that
saying.
no
turn
Make it
more.
a
you
more
can actually
arcadish
turn
type
Forza
game.
Horizon into an arcade. And then what they doing with the new
Yeah, that's what.
Forza? They giving you a Forza
Burnout
mode.
has
Yup,
burnt out.
yup. Say it again. We gotta start
Burnout
thinking.
burned
See, the
out.
problem with it is we have to start thinking about these. Like I say, these games that racing games that we want to bring back. It won't be no juice sports. For what?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
Well,
get shut. It's gonna get covered right on over.
we live in a genre. We live in the way gaming is now. You can't have a widespread of races like you used to back in the day.
Yeah, because you had Sega Rally, you had what do you call that? Daytona. You had a bunch of them.
Because gamers now like is not going to buy like 5 or 6 racing games a year. They're gonna
No,
pick
they
out
not.
at least 1 or 2 and play that, and they're not gonna be buying a whole bunch
Right
of
out.
racing games.
Yup.
What's that other
How they
racer that's
gonna
supposed
do?
to be and people like it? What's that other racer that's kind of like Forza? Like Forza Motorsport. Um, that people like, but that's real simulated racing.
What's about Project
Oh,
Cars or
talking about the
something?
Yeah, Project
Project
Cars.
Car. Yup. I know them rally racing cars and all that other stuff
Yeah,
like
ride
that.
them
Right?
rowdy
Yeah,
things. Yeah,
yeah. I don't like them. There's too many racing car games.
yeah.
You can like,
Truckmaster
you know
might
what?
buy it.
Or what they could do
Uh,
with Project Gotham is make it like a midnight club street racing.
Man, that club was life, man. I used to kill that game.
Now they can bring it back and make it something like that.
Now, if you want to
As
do
Forza
something,
ain't doing that.
yeah, but if you want to do something, you put some guns on these cars.
What about
yeah.
You
Full
make
Auto? Remember that game, Full Auto?
Four
yeah,
Autos,
yeah,
nice.
you go
That was Sega
some
though.
guns and some
I think
you go
Sega made that.
you and you go around the run thinking you just go murder on some straight murder shit.
I'm trying.
They
Trying
could
to
do
tell you,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
If they, look, with Bone say, if they don't got
Just do
guns on it
something
or something
different.
like
That's
that,
all.
if they don't have guns and stuff like that on that, it's not working. I'm telling you, these racing car games you talking about coming out, they're going to get swallowed the fuck up.
No, but you'd be
Be scared
surprised how
of.
many people actually want a Project Gotham type, night street racing type game. Like
Now,
people been
I
asking for something
guarantee
like that for
that,
now,
years.
now,
that percentage shit is
I do,
They've
very
been
low.
asking Need for Speed to bring that back, but
I
they
can't
haven't.
see that. I can't see that because we don't really have a night racer like we used to. You know, even though I know Forza you can drive at night, but to have a game where you just drive at night, period, and do street races,
And
we
I'm
don't
telling you
really
what's going
have
to
that.
happen.
Hey, Ring, yes,
I'm
it
gonna tell
is.
you what's going to happen.
Hey, Ring,
I'm
this
a,
I'm gonna bring it up right now. It is
hold on,
one,
hold on.
and it's named Forza. Forza
Yup,
Street. You just gotta play
yup,
it on your phone.
This was
yup.
a mobile
I'm
man.
a,
Nobody want to play that shit.
yeah, listen, yeah, shit. Well, guess what? Motherfucker playing mobile like crazy.
But
Listen,
the
no,
thing is,
I'm gonna tell you. Listen, no. I got one better than that, ball. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Go ahead and bring them games out and watch what Forza do. Watch what Forza do. You see how they do the mountains
like,
and riding up in the mountain and Legoland. They do the same thing with Forza. They just add that shit in there and make that shit irrelevant. I'm trying to tell you. It's not hard. You
Well,
got to
on
realize
well,
another
what you
island,
Microsoft
got to
are you
recently
realize
did.
what
doing
They
age
can
feet?
do it then, because they ain't
you
doing
got
it
to
right
realize.
now.
You got to realize the age we live. We live in the age of DLC. It'll take long for them to add that in there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now that would be a good idea.
No, that's what I'm
But
saying. I want
but
Microsoft to do that because they own Project
like I
Gotham.
said before,
So
like
why not
Yeah,
do it?
people's not going to buy out like 5
they're not
racing
gonna buy
games a
all that
year.
shit, yo.
You
Yeah.
know, they would, yeah. So
Yeah.
And you
I mean,
forgot,
I
Yeah,
know what
you
but there
forgot
I
could
that
know
be
what
people
you.
who don't
we come
like
from a
Forza
generation that don't know
that will
what the
like
hell
that game
Project
though.
Gotham is.
Yeah, you thought that nostalgia shit. That's not gonna
Yeah,
some
happen,
Project
bro.
people
Gotham was from the
some people
OG
thought
Xbox.
Project Gotham was a damn
Yeah,
Batman
but
game.
they're not gonna do that.
Yup.
You know what they would do with Project Gotham? If Forza have anything that's not that Project Gotham don't have, they're gonna put that in there. I'm trying to tell you, dog. You better off saying, I wish they add that in this and this. Because that's what's gonna happen now. They're not gonna spend no money on no game where they already got a game that's been successful. Not gonna do that. Now, can they add that mechanic in Forza? Hell yeah. If you can add Legoland, you can add that shit in there. Even though I played the Legoland, I don't give a fuck if anybody judge me. You better not judge me. Neither you nasty ass police.
I want them to bring back the
Yeah,
Hot
I
Wheels. The
played it.
Hot Wheels was
Yeah, I
crazy.
played the Hot Wheels too. Yeah, the Hot
I'll
Wheels
take
is
that.
nice.
I thought they was going to bring that back.
Sony can't
I would
afford
like
to
to
buy
have that.
Warner Brothers Studios. Fuck out
Somebody
of
talking
here.
about buying
Yeah,
something.
Warner Brothers,
Who the
I think
fuck said
it's
that?
worth more than Sony as a whole. They can't afford
Yeah,
that.
you know what? Oh, that's Omar, the one that got sand in his pussy.
Sony gonna need a
Omar,
damn loan to get that. They to buy Warner Brothers.
he
They
said we
can't even
need
buy one of
Midnight
them.
Club
What
back.
that Tunimation
Midnight Club.
animation? That's
Listen
on
here,
hold.
listen to what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying about Midnight Club and all that back. But all them things that you're saying, you can just add a DLC.
Well, they could,
Sorry,
but I don't know. It's just like Forza. Like the driving mechanics is just not the same
But see,
as a Project
if
Gotham.
Forza add that type of DLC, they're gonna because remember, Midnight Club is midnight street racing. It's like some underground type of
right.
thing.
It's
So
like an
they
Underground
underground
racing.
arcade type game.
so it's gonna
Forza's
have to
not that.
be on it gonna have to be on
You mean
the lines
you're
of
right for the motorsport, but for the
Fast and the
Horizon, well,
Furious.
Yeah, but Forza,
It's gonna be like Fast and the Furious, basically.
yeah, but Forza, you can they making you gonna have a Forge mode now. You can make your own.
Yep.
If you want Midnight Club, you can make your own Midnight Club or download it from
Bam.
somebody else that try to make something like that. You got
Don't
options.
get me wrong. It sounds good, but I'm trying to tell you, you're not gonna do something that they can't compete with. Forza is dominant. It's like they saying
Yeah,
fuck.
Life is
yeah,
good.
yeah. Life is good. Rockstar is partnering up with Sony
Man,
because
I'm telling you, Microsoft
because
about to buy Take Two,
because
man. I don't know what y'all
Oh,
talking
here
about.
we go with this again.
because
Wow.
because Rockstar
Ah.
is helping Sony with the PS5 Pro. That's why they teaming up. They need to borrow some money from Rockstar to make the PS5 Pro.
Man, Sony come
Well,
up with that
no,
damn
but
PS5 Pro, I'm done.
we'll see what the problem is. The reason why they teaming up with Rockstar, teaming up with them, because they have to redesign and rethink how they want GTA to run. If you have an Xbox, there's nothing but an update. I'm sorry. It appears though that
Oh yeah.
Sony can't do a lot of software updates like Microsoft. That's why they teaming up with Sony. Sony probably paid them a little more cash, you know what I'm saying, to help
For
them out.
parity.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because I think if it wasn't for the PS5, I think that GTA 5 would have been out by now.
Because
I mean six.
Sony be
Six.
damn if the Xbox
Nah, I don't
version
think
had more
so.
grass.
Mhm. No, but
No,
I think coming out with the GTA 5
you mean six?
remaster or something, right?
Oh, the remaster? They supposed to.
Yeah, I think they're
That's what
coming
the
out with a
word.
remaster for GTA
That's
5.
what that's what word on the street is. That's probably what they really doing is helping them with that. They probably got to work real close so that shit won't burn
Yeah,
up
because the
that PlayStation
PS5 backwards
5.
compatibility is
Yeah,
trash.
they
So
don't
they
got
need
no
a
backwards
native
compatibility.
port. Mhm.
I can see that, but I can see that. I can see them working with them because of that particular reason. That makes a whole lot of sense. I can actually see why they would do that. That makes sense. They would have to work hand in hand with them so that they can come out right. With Microsoft, they can just throw an update. Bam, here you go. Because not only that, you have to also realize with Microsoft right now with the Series X, or you know what? I ain't gonna say the Series X. I'm gonna say the little brother with the Series S. That's what you're going up against. You're not going up the Series X. You're going up against the Series S. With the Series S, when I was playing it, when I first got my Series S, and I noticed it, I noticed the low end, and I noticed the environment of how everything load up quickly, very fast in the game. And I noticed like the frame rate of the game was smooth as butter. So yeah, PlayStation 5 would need help because if they just leave it like it is, that frame rate, they're gonna be doing them jiggy lines again, like that last game. That CPU gonna crash. We ain't gonna act
Man,
like
we've been
that
on here
CPU
long
didn't
enough.
crash. What time is it?
Your time is shoot. You know we don't got no limit.
What's
But
going
we've been on
on?
here
What's
for like
going
an hour
on?
44.
Uh,
We know it's
see
Father's
you.
Day tomorrow.
Uh, thanks for coming out. Holla at y'all. Happy Father's Day. And you, Pony. Fuck you, sucker. You got a shitty ass costume. That's why we